If you've been around the Better Belly podcast for a while, you know that I am constantly teaching on how food alone cannot heal your gut. However, food is still at most 20% of the equation of healing your gut, so it's still important. And not only is food important to heal your gut, but it's also something you have to think about a lot. You have to eat 3 meals a day, right? So if you have to eat something, it might as well be delicious. In today's episode, learn my 5 favorite gluten-free and grain-free recipes that are healthy for your gut without having to sacrifice quality. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly podcast. If you're currently trying endless supplements, doctor visits, and diet changes to heal your mystery symptoms, you are in the right place. We're here to solve the real root causes behind your gut, hormones, skin, sleep, and brain concerns. Literally anything and everything in your body. My name is Allison Jordan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner that has supported over 150 clients just like you to heal problems that no one has been able to fix. You don't need a perfect diet or a random supplement you found on Instagram to heal. You need a proven system that heals your whole body from the inside out. That's what I'm here to share with you, episode by episode. It's time to make health easy again. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. All right, so in celebration of my birthday week, my birthday was on the 11th, so on Tuesday, as of this recording and release of the episode. And in celebration of my birthday, I wanted to share my favorite things. This is a little bit of like, these are a few of my favorite things. I did not pick a pitch on that. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so that is kind of the inspiration for some of my previous episode, my favorite myth-busting episodes. If you missed Tuesday's episode, it's really great. And I just create this directory of my favorite myth-busting episodes from the Better Belly podcast. Pretty much everything that people are not talking about in the gut health sphere that you can't find a blog post about, like at least I'm not seeing really, which is super sad. But yeah, if you're just like tired of the same advice and the same advice, gut health advice has not worked for you, like magnesium, water, fiber, probiotics, blah, 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 go check out that episode. You're going to love it. But today's episode is about my favorite bread recipes because I've been gluten-free for about 5 years and I've been grain-free for about 3 years. And actually, I was probably gluten-free longer than those 5 years, but really solidly for 5 years. And as soon as I turned grain-free, I just had a really hard time finding good breads. Part of the problem is that there's not a lot of breads that you can buy at the store. And even honestly, like the boxed good stuff that they have out there, I'm just usually very underwhelmed with those recipes. But I have in the last 6 to 12 months found some amazing recipes that my family loves going to again and again. I've got a 2-year-old daughter. She freaking loves these recipes. I freaking love them. And so I'm going to share them with you. I have links in the show notes to all of these recipes because I'm not going to verbally say them. And some of these are not my own recipes. I'm sharing them from another cook recipe person from her blog. But I want you to know what I'm eating, honestly, on a daily, weekly basis. We're rotating through all these breads. You guys ready? The first one is a paleo grain-free raisin cinnamon bread. Paleo means that it's going to be grain-free inherently. It also might include some other things like bean-free, but beans aren't usually in bread. So all intents and purposes, I'm aiming for the grain-free part of this. This bread is so good. It's from Paleo Running Mama, which, by the way, all of these recipes come from, except for the one recipe that I have in here. I'll tell you which one that is. I love this woman. I love Paleo Running Mama. I did not intentionally try to seek her out, but on Pinterest, I would always end up picking recipes. Like if I'm like, let me find a cinnamon raisin bread, I'd be really drawn to her recipe and I wouldn't even realize it was hers until I got onto the website. I'm like, oh, it's Paleo Running Mama again. Her recipes are a really great combination of actually tastes good texture, moist, fluffy, really tastes like it should, but also simple. Because there are some places where to get these moist or kind of glutinous flavors and textures in our mouths, you have to use like 7 different types of flours. And I'm not here for that life. It relies primarily on almond flour, which I can buy lots of almond flour easily from Costco. So I love that. And then it'll utilize sometimes like tapioca starch, but not like a ton and not for all these recipes. So it just feels like a good combination of actually tastes good, but not too complicated to make, which I'm here for the simple, quick life of yummy food. So paleo grain-free raisin cinnamon bread. And this is amazing. I use it as toast. I put eggs on it. I put chicken salad on it. That's like a thing that I learned at like a cute cafe that has these very fancy sandwiches. Chicken salad on raisin cinnamon bread is really good. I'll use it as like a snack or a treat in the evening. I don't know if there's much more to say on it other than it's amazing, and go check out the website and you can see the pictures. They're beautiful. All right, so my second bread is going to be high protein, grain-free peanut butter chocolate muffins. This is a muffin. This is my main breakfast go-to item because, I'm dairy free, so I'm not eating yogurt. At least I'm not eating cow yogurt. I'm grain free, so I'm not eating most cereals. There's just a lot less things that are to go, but I will make a big batch, like, either a big muffin version, I'll make 12 of them, or I'll make like 24 kind of normal muffin sizes, and I'll eat these on the go as a snack, but most commonly for breakfast. And I might add some eggs on top or boiled eggs with it if it's really, really to go. And it has collagen powder, it has peanut butter. It just has good fats, good proteins. It has 30 grams of protein in it, y'all. And there's no added sugar in terms of like, not even coconut sugar, because the only thing that sweetens it is bananas. Super moist, super chocolatey and rich. And then I add in chocolate chips. I do use chocolate chips from there's Costco chocolate chips that are dairy free, and I'm providing a link for it in the show notes just so you can see what the brand looks like, because there are some Costco chocolate chips that I think they're phasing out that used to have dairy in it, but now they don't. It's a little confusing, y'all, but it doesn't even say dairy free. It's just when you look at the ingredients, there's no dairy. And it's amazing, and it's really high quality ingredients. There's like real vanilla in it. The cinnamon or the chocolate chips taste great. So that's what I put in these chocolate muffins. If you want even lower sugar, you could remove them, but I love the chocolate chips. And so does my daughter. She is, if you want to know, does my 2-year-old daughter love these foods, these breads? Yes, she does. Hey friend, do you feel like you're never properly digesting anything no matter how you change your diet? Have you spent thousands of dollars buying supplements, labs, and fancy functional or holistic practitioners to simply have no relief from your symptoms? Or do you just want to poop daily, ditch acid reflux, and balance your hormones without being dependent on medications? If so, I've got great news for you. You can stop the money hemorrhage that's happening around your health and finally get worry-free health through the Gut Healer System. The Gut Healer System is my 2.0 upgrade to the former Better Belly method that consistently reduces our clients' symptoms by 80% in 3 to 6 months so that your health can finally feel easy. Our clients have gone from being stuck at home with fibromyalgia to watching their grandchildren's soccer games every evening, or they've been able to travel for work and pleasure without wondering the entire trip if they're going to become constipated and ruin their whole time. We've also seen clients get off of 40 plus years of medications that they've been on for acid reflux, constipation, and PMS, and stay off that medication without needing to be on lifelong extreme diet restrictions or supplements. I want you to be able to enjoy the holidays and family meals without fearing how you're going to feel afterwards or feeling guilty for what you do eat. If you are ready for this, head to betterbellytherapies.com/training to watch my free micro training to learn exactly how 600 plus of my clients have healed their gut even when nothing else has worked before. In this training, you're going to learn what your doctors are missing, even if they're functional or holistic, why no amount of food restrictions are going to heal your gut, the 5 toxin trap that is keeping you sick, how to heal your gut in the most affordable way possible, and the 3 steps to actually heal your gut. I can't wait to see you living a worry-free, optimal, healthy life. Head to betterbellytherapies.com/training to get started today. Now, back to the show. All right, so the next one is paleo cornbread. You're like, how do you make cornbread without corn? mostly almond flour, because almond flour has a bit of like a gritty, heavy flavor to it, which if you think of cornbread is not bad. The grittiness is like a part of the compliment. Also from Paleo Running Mama. And we will use this cornbread with chili. We've used this cornbread. What else have we used it with? I know we've done chili. I feel like I've used it for whatever you use cornbread with, right? Clearly chili is on my mind. And it's great. Sometimes I'll do the paleo cornbread. It's a little sweet, so if you guys don't like sweet cornbread, dial down on the sugar that she puts in it, but I think it's great. My dad, who has no dietary restrictions, will make it for our family to like everyone to eat, even the people who have no dietary restrictions, and they love this cornbread. Though my dad does call this cornbread like cake. He's like, so we're having the cake with our chili tonight. I don't think it's that sweet. I'm actually pretty sensitive to like super sweet things, but it is definitely some sweet, that's for sure. I think she has like half a cup of coconut sugar and half a cup. This actually is probably when I double the recipe. I make a 9x13, and then of course, the double of the sugar would be half a cup of coconut sugar and half a cup of honey. And I think I do like a quarter cup of coconut sugar and a half a cup of honey. So it still has a honey flavor. Anyways, does not ruin it at all. But there's that one. Next one is paleo sandwich bread. So yes, sandwiches. I love doing a lot of open face sandwiches. I just have liked doing that historically because you can't get it super thin. So it's a little thick just to keep its constituency. I will say this recipe does call for flaxseed, but I didn't have flaxseed the very first time I made it, and it turned out great, actually. So also word to the wise, when you're making almost any of these recipes, you're going to want to let them cool before you pull it out because the cooling helps it congeal a little better. So don't just like pull the steaming sandwich bread out and then start slicing it because it'll be more prone to fall apart. This is very true, in particular with the sandwich bread. But it's, again, very, very simple, very straightforward to make, and it'll last us, a week or two, depending on how much bread we're eating that week in my family. And the last one, it's not technically bread. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Paleo blueberry waffles, also from Paleo Running Mama. And waffles are, I found, hands down way better than pancakes because waffles get like cooked on all edges, so it always gets rid of the moisture, but pancakes are more likely to burn on the outside and then be gooey on the inside. I have not found a good pancake recipe, but if you have a waffle maker, which we do, these waffles are great. We will use frozen blueberries instead of fresh blueberries. There's organic ones from Costco. Do you guys sense a theme? I love Costco. And then we'll also make some, instead of having blueberries in it, we'll have chocolate chips, these Costco dairy-free chocolate chips in it as well. And then some plain ones because my husband loves plain. So these are my 5 that we're like constantly rotating in our family. If we want to have a fun breakfast, kind of family breakfast thing, we'll make the waffles with some bacon and eggs, and it's amazing. Now, I wanted to end out this these recipes, this episode with a little disclaimer on the foods that I just shared, because these are amazing recipes. They taste amazing. Anytime you're on a restricted diet, if you can feel like your diet is rich and tastes amazing, it helps incentivize you to keep going and just make your life better. Just like even if you weren't on a diet restriction, boring food is boring. Right? And so you can have a restricted diet and not have boring food. Let's not make restricted diet equal boring. But I wanted to have a quick disclaimer on like, why am I calling these breads healthy? I want to be very clear. I'm not calling them healthy because they're fat-free. They're not. I'm not calling them healthy because they're low carb. Some of them are kind of lower carb because the almond flour is generally lower carb, but that's not the point. Like, I'm not calling them healthy because they're sugar-free. Most of them are not sugar-free. I'm not calling them healthy because they're high fiber. I don't actually know how much fiber would be in all of them, but that's not the point. I'm calling them, they're healthy because they fit my dietary restrictions after my gut was healed. And the key is after your gut is healed. And a lot of people, if you're listening to this podcast, know that my heart is to not confuse you, making you think that if you get the right diet or if you eat the same thing Allison eats, you'll have a healthy gut. That is not true. I could be eating this diet I currently eat 5 years ago, and I would have not been healthy because my gut wasn't healed yet. So if you're here and you're just here for the recipes, great. But if you're like, no, I really want to heal my gut and diet has not been doing it for me, then I encourage you, listen to more podcast episodes. Go and get our podcast vault. Go to betterbellytherapies.com/get-the-vault or click the link in the show notes, and you'll literally get all of our episodes organized by category. So if you're dealing with acid reflux, you'll listen to all our acid reflux ones, or constipation, or bloating, or lab testing, or food restrictions. We have all sorts of categories you can dive into and learn. Or honestly, listen to last week's episode on the myths that we've busted of like, why are probiotics not healing your gut? Why is magnesium not healing your gut? Why is going gluten-free not healing your gut? That is going to help you so much. So because again, healing your gut at most, like food is only at most 20% of the equation. You're like, what's the rest of the 80%? That's what we are here in this podcast to talk about. But today was really just to talk about yummy, delicious things to go and eat. So if you want to find more recipes like this, some of my tips are go on Pinterest. They have great stuff. You can shop with your eyes. And I find that search engine works. I prefer it over Google when I'm trying to find a good grain-free recipe or dairy-free recipe, or specifically go to Paleo Running Mama. I just like her stuff. I just think she's a great cook, and it's very easy to put together. It's not ridiculous. And follow me on Instagram. I share stuff that I'm eating on there. I give tips. And I just realized I hadn't thought about sharing this on the podcast, but I do have a couple episodes on like some of my like dairy-free hacks. If you're dairy-free, how do you get sauces that are creamy and cheeses that are delicious? There's some amazing hacks out there, and it does not involve having to eat fake cheese. So I'm going to put those in the show notes for you to go check those episodes out on more recipes or more dietary tips and tricks that I have. But also follow me on Instagram because, again, I'm sharing them there as well. My Instagram handle is @BetterBellyTherapies, and it's also in the show notes. So thanks for tuning in today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next week. Hey friend, I hope you loved this episode. If you've been a fan for a while or newly loving this podcast, can you do me a favor? Drop into Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. When you leave a review, you do so much. You help me know you're listening. You can tell me what you're loving so I know what to make more of. And you help others by boosting this podcast so other people like you can find the podcast too. I mean, it's a win-win-win, right? So if you want a way to pay it forward, just go to Apple Podcasts or click the link in my show notes and leave a rating and review. And if you want some more free stuff, just head over to my free Facebook group, betterbellytherapies.com/Facebook, and you can get access to all of my free support for you, including some Facebook group exclusive stuff like my podcast episode vault, where you can search the Better Belly podcast by topic and find exactly what you need to expedite your healing. I cannot wait to see you in there. Catch you guys next week.